people popping in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kaleidoscope of the Arts. I'm one of your show hosts, Marie LaBrosse.
And I'm Dee Gozion.
And, this is going to be a very fun, interesting show, isn't it, Dee?
Most certainly. It's
okay.
Best events coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I want to let our audience know, as you're listening to us on WKDW 97.5 FM Real Community Radio out of Northport, Florida, on the Bishop West Real Estate Tower, and we're coming out of beautiful, beautiful Northport. It's sunny as heck, and that's why we have the palm trees in the background to let all of you up north and around the world, if you have really bad weather, sorry. Sorry. We have beautiful weather here. No, everybody's used to me wearing hats. And one of the reasons I have this hat on is I have my bees for Be the One. And we'll be talking about that in a few moments with a lot of people from all different organizations. And this is so exciting because we are going to be the one. We are going to be the one that actually brings the community of Northport all together and to support the nonprofits that service them in the surrounding areas. But before we go to that, you know, Dee, February we had Pizza for a Cause for the Northport Arts Center. Yes. And how much money? Just three different Boca Lupas. The Valentino boys, Dennis and David, own the Boca Lupas, the three Boca Lupas, and they own Prime and they own Donato's. But one of the things is they give back to the community 52 weeks a year, every Tuesday. If you're a nonprofit and you're listening to this, you just go to the Boca Lupa Coal Fire Pizza website, and there's a place called Pizza for a Cause. You just enter your information. You have to be a 501c3 organization or something that, even with the school system, support things like we have, supporting the band, the Northport Band Parent Organization, and they would be able to go and actually register for this and have Pizza for a Cause. And we raised almost $1,700 by nothing else but people going and eating there that day.
Oh,
right?
My God. It was one of the best fundraisers anybody could have.
Yeah,
yeah. We all met at the restaurants, each of the three restaurants the day out. And just ate pizza and had fun. So Pizza for a Cause is today, and any way that you're purchasing anything, you can order to go. You can go into the restaurant, but even your alcoholic beverages count towards this, and they give a portion of the proceeds. A portion of all sales will be donated to the Northport Symphony today. And the thing is where are the Boca Lupas? Well, there's one in Northport on Aiden Lane. If you know where the Perkins is in the Aldi's, it's behind there in the plaza by Seaport Optometry. And the one in Port Charlotte is by the Lowe's store, and their other restaurant, Donato's, it's right next to that. And if you go to Welland Park, it's up in Welland Park by the Atlanta Braves. You know, it's just as you're going in there, and the Publix is up there. So why not support a nonprofit? You're going to eat anyhow. Every Tuesday, pick Boca Lupa, because they do give back to the community. And this is something that we want to really let people know, that there are businesses out there that give back, and the Valentino boys give back 52 weeks a year. I don't even know if we ever talk about them. I mean, that they know that we talk about them. I know I let them know. Okay, so here we go, and I'm going to take that off screen. And excuse me, everybody, because I'm doing the teching in the background. We have a lot of people coming on. Dee, anything else we want to talk about the Northport Arts Center right now before we bring them up? Can I just make a quick announcement?
Sure.
Friday, April 29th, we actually have a reception at the Art Center here starting at 6:30.
and it's actually two receptions or a reception for two different shows. One is our student artists have a show, and the other one is a special show for the raising money for the Ukraine community. Artists of the area had gotten together, painted beautiful pictures of Ukrainian culture. It's about the peace and loveliness of the Ukrainian countryside and the Ukrainian culture. All proceeds from this art show will go to Ukrainian refugee families here in the city of Northport. So anybody, please come to the Art Center. We're open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. On the weekends from 9 to 12, just come and see the show. And anybody that can come to the reception will tell you more about it at the reception. But the show is beautiful, and we hope that after it's done hanging here at the Art Center, we can take it around the city of Northport to show everybody solidarity with the Ukrainian people of our community.
Well, that's wonderful, Dee Dee. And now that we're done with that and we're healing through art, let's talk about the pop-up event. And I'm going to bring up the flyer up on the screen, and as I'm bringing the flyer up here, we're going to actually bring up each person that's a representative of the ones that we have in the room here. And we will start popping them up here. Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself, Sue.
Hi, I'm Sue with Literacy Volunteers of Southwest Florida. And our nonprofit focuses on helping adults in our community, both basically the Venice and Northport areas, but if it's Southwest Florida, Sarasota County, that's what we focus on. And these are adults where English is their second language. We help them through individual tutors, through library classes. We offer citizenship classes, and this is all free of charge to these adults.
Hello, Sue.
Hi.
How are you? There she is.
Good.
That's good. Marie, you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. I muted myself in case I said something to anybody out there while somebody's talking. Okay, so I'm going to actually pop all the different people that we have in the room here. Okay, and we'll make sure that we have everybody up on screen here so we can introduce different people. I'll bring the flyer back up so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, John with the Samaritan Counseling. John, and for my audience here, we're actually streaming this on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's live right now, and you can go back tomorrow. It'll be airing on the radio. So you can go back and go to WKDW 97.5 Facebook page, Northport Arts Center Facebook page, my own personal Marie Stanich LaBrosse, if you're a friend of mine, and who doesn't want to be.
Oh, really?
And you can go to the Giving Tuesday, even though it's the Giving Challenge, not to be confused with Giving Tuesday, because I'm the chair for Giving Tuesday for the area. I put it up there because I wanted people to really realize that there are different times of the year and different ways to give back to your community. And every Tuesday they have give back every 52 weeks a year. And just like Boca Lupa, they give back 52 weeks a year. And John, did you know about that? Did you know that Pizza for a Cause does that?
No.
No?
That's news to me, yes.
Yeah, and it's a real easy way, and it's a way for different businesses, but they're one of the businesses that picked up on that, and they don't sponsor people anymore. That's how you end up getting money, and how much easier is that? That's better than $1,000 sponsor, truthfully.
Yeah.
Okay, so John, tell us about your organization.
So I'm John Gregory, the Community Care Director at Samaritan Counseling Services of the Gulf Coast. We've been in the area since 1999, and we have 10 office locations that serve Sarasota and Manatee County. Our closest office to the area where the radio station is actually in Venice. And so we serve out of those 10 offices. We're serving about 2,400 clients a year and offering, counseling services from anything from serving those who are dealing with anxiety and depression to family concerns to substance abuse, anything that someone is struggling with in their behavioral health and mental health, we're here to help them. So we're happy to be part of this Giving Challenge pop-up station. This is the first for us to be participating in a pop-up giving station.
Well, it's the first that we're actually doing one, so that's really great. Now, I will bring you back down here, and Alexis, we are going to have you talk about your organization, Seal of Freedom. And truthfully, in today's world, this is one organization, besides the mental health, that John is taking care of, because I imagine during COVID, and John, everybody's able to hear you. You guys are still open on your mics and
Sure.
stuff. With the mental health during COVID, how extreme that might have been for you seeing more clients than normal.
For sure. Yeah, we've doubled in size in the last 3 years.
Okay. So, Alexis, tell us a little bit about SELA.
Yes, so I'm Alexis, and I'm on the awareness team at Sail of Freedom. Sail of Freedom is a nonprofit organization that fights to end sex trafficking. And a lot of people think that it just happens overseas, but that is not always the case. Trafficking has been reported in all 50 states, and Florida is actually number 3 in the nation, just behind California and Texas. So we take a holistic approach to trying to end sex trafficking. We have 5 programs that work together. We have our outreach, our residential awareness, prevention, and our newly added organizational consulting, which is where we kind of mentor other organizations to do what we do.
Well, and in today's world, sex trafficking, and it can happen to anybody, and that's one of the concerns about over in Ukraine with the Russians and with them becoming victims, especially orphans or different things like that. So, I see another person in our room there, Karen.
Hi.
Karen Fosterio. Talk to us. Who are you?
Well, I'm Karen Fosterio, and I'm the immediate past president of the Northport Arts Center.
Yeah, and why are you here?
I am here to be on this pop-up. So that everyone
good.
is aware that we also are a nonprofit, and every penny that we make helps us to pay our bills and to offer more and more that we can to the community.
Well, there's a lot of programs that the Northport Arts Center actually does for the community that are free programs, and let's talk real briefly about them. Currently, I'm the vice president of the Northport Arts Center, and I'm on that board, and I'm also on the board of the radio station too, the community broadband radio station. And one of the things that I really like about the Art Center is they do a free program for children on Saturdays, and then they also help with adult mentally disabled, and then they do homeschooling programs and different things that actually. And the veteran program. They have a program now through the Art of War that there's scholarships for anybody that's a veteran. And, for John and even Alexis, if you know of anybody that's a veteran, they have free programs that they'll support anybody that's a veteran. They can take a free class there. So just so you're aware of that. And for our audience to know, and literacy volunteers with Sue, I don't know what you see or the clientele that you get, but just know that there are services out there. And I know with Sue, let's talk a little bit to you about the literacy volunteers, because one of the things that I think that happens with all of you as I move you over here. Okay, what happens with all of you is you see a lot of immigrants that come over here and it's a second language that they have to actually learn English and they're going for their citizenship. No, and I know Alexis, you probably see people that have been brought to the U.S. for sex trafficking, and through that they may not even have the skills of communicating to in a second language where the literacy volunteers would come in. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely, yes. And we work with other organizations and people who can help us when there is that kind of language barrier and communication barrier.
Okay, and so this is something that even as we're meeting as nonprofits right now and doing the pop-up that we're going to be doing for everybody, please mark this on your calendar. 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at the Northport. It's actually called the Spring Plaza, but it's at the radio station, Common Grounds, Bishop West Real Estate are in that plaza, and all of these nonprofits are going to be there. And we're going to be collaborating and giving you an opportunity to meet with all of them. And you know, of course, we would like you to donate, but one of the things about the Giving Challenge, it's a little bit different than other things. You have to use a unique place to go and do your donation. I'll bring it up on the screen in a little bit. But going back to the literacy volunteers and Seal of Freedom, and even John with counseling, I would imagine all of this ties hand in hand, that all of you can work together on all those different things.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to building those partnerships, definitely.
And that's one thing with nonprofits. You all have a little piece that you deal with the people, but there's a lot of the same people that need services that don't know where to go. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the beauties of being able to do what we're doing is a pop-up station through the during the Giving Challenge. And what do people really know about the Giving Challenge? Have any of you really come across where people get real confused what that Giving Challenge is? Let's have that discussion. John.
Yes, I think people are still learning about it, even though it's been around for, what is it now, 10 years or so?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there's still people learning about it. And of course, as people move here, why would they know about it until they've moved here, And when it's every other year, it's not something that's routine enough, I think, for them to know about it. So not only are we challenging the people who are familiar with it to participate, we're in the business, you could say, of creating awareness that this is happening, and want to encourage people to participate however they can.
Yeah, absolutely. And I participated, just for everybody here on the screen to know, and that from the beginning. I was with the Charlotte Players at that time and got us involved, and I was the president during some of the sessions. We even went through the No Mission, No Margin program that the Patterson Foundation puts on, and we did that while I was president. But with that being said, the Patterson Foundation actually does matching money, and it's so important to these nonprofits because when you go for a grant, that money is specific for a program. You have to, when you write a grant, it has to be very specific, and that money has to be used for that. This money that they get through the Giving Challenge, this money is unrestricted. That means that they can use it for anything. If, say you need a new printer, say you need a new computer, and you don't know where you're going to get the money to do that, and if you write a grant, it may take you a while and you need that printer today. At least with the unrestricted funds, you may have a coffer that you can go to and, hey, we have this money here that we can use for something like that. Or services. If you want to have a program, and I got to see who I'm getting that from. That's from Dee Dee. That was coming through. I think, no, maybe not. I hear some noise coming through. Does anybody else hear that?
No.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it's coming from me. Yeah. But I want to direct our audience to what is a pop-up station? Well, here's a pop-up station that we're going to be having at the radio station. And if you're not watching us on social media, you can look at our screen right now. It's going to be held Tuesday, April 26th. And if you look at my hat, I have bees on it. I've always used the theme, Be the One, because that's what the Community Foundation of Sarasota is the main foundation that has put this together all these years. They use the theme, Be the One, and they've always used this theme all the way through. So I took it from the beginning and used it with bees. So I have bee hats, I have bee finger puppets, and we're going to have a bee dressed up in a costume. Or maybe somebody in a costume dressed up as a bee, whatever way you want to see it. You can go to any of our Facebook pages, any of the participating organizations, and you can actually see where it's happening, and they'll be able to be streaming this to them. Springs Plaza is at 12735 to 12739 on Tamiami Trail in Northport. If you're coming down 41, it'll be on your left, right after War Mineral Springs sign. It'll be there's a frontage road there, and you can just go in and come into there. If you're coming from the north, from the south, past the Dollar General, you can turn into that by the liquor store. You take a right and you go to the left. But if you miss it, you can still come around to the More Mineral Springs. If you've gone past Caddy Carts coming north, you've gone too far. And, of course, we're going to have a food truck there, and it's a DANK AF Food Truck. And they have superb food. I went looking for a food truck that could take care of everybody's culinary interests, and the DANK AF Food Truck is it. They even have a vegetarian venue that you can actually have stuff, and he likes to give back to the community, so they will be there supporting all of us nonprofits. Now, the nonprofits participating, and raise your hand as I call out who you are: Community Broadband Radio Association. And we do, a lot of people don't know us as that, but we're WKDW 97.5 FM, Common Grounds Meeting Hall, and we also have Irish World Radio and KDWRadio.com. We started out as a broadband radio before we were FM. Literacy Volunteers of South Sarasota County, Northport Arts Center, Karen and Dee Dee. Northport Corral she was going to come, but she's not here right now. The Backpack Angels, and they're actually on the website as Northport Coalition for Homeless Needy Children. That's a mouthful. DBA that's why they go by Backpack Angels. And Northport High School Band Parent Organization, great organization, and they're going to have students there along with the parents all night long, so that'll be a really great thing to see. And one of their students, you might want to come meet the bee. Northport Meals on Wheels, the Samaritan Counseling Services of the Gulf Coast, John, Sea Love Freedom, Alexis, and the Environmental Conservancy of Northport, and that's a mouthful. And then we have entertainment starting at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be inside Common Grounds Hall. Now, I have been guaranteed we will have a TV outside, so all of you that are going to be outside, and all these nonprofits will be along the sidewalk out there that you can talk to them, because we have a lot of activities going on. Panda Pete Schumann, Champ, and it's not Champ Jacks. Somebody asked me that, and no, it's actually this other guy is called Champ. Pagan M, Roman Chicago Kerchurka. Roman's one of my favorite people because he does the harmonica, and did you know the harmonica is really called a harp? Who knew? And he has over 70 different harmonicas or harps, and they're all in different kinds of keys and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. Rick St. Germain, great musician. All of these people are. Suzanne Lucas, and then our MC for the evening for Inside with Common Grounds will be Bud Buckley, but we'll be coming in and out, and we'll be streaming like we are right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and we'll be on live on air on WKDW 97.5 FM and online on KDWRadio.com. And if you come and join us in person, which we really would like you to do, we're going to have John Rawlings going to be out, and you may be able to be on the radio and streaming on the stream with us. Won't that be exciting for people that wonder, how do I get into being on this kind of a venue out to the world? And people, this show that we're airing right now, we have 17,000 followers just on the radio, people that listen to us, believe it or not, because we go worldwide. Well, that is one of the beauties of being able to stream, and hopefully I don't have anybody else in the room coming in. Okay, let's talk a little bit more, because we got about 20 minutes left here. So let's talk about what you are looking for, every one of you. Why did you want to get involved with doing a pop-up? Let's start with you, Alexis.
Sure, yeah. So we wanted to do an event with the Giving Challenge, and we love collaborating, working with people, and I think it's great that there's going to be so many other organizations there that we can learn off of and piggyback off of, and just also just to really spread awareness, about what we're doing, because there's a lot of people don't really understand trafficking a whole lot, and there's a lot of myths involved with trafficking, like that it only happens overseas. So we're really excited to be involved to spread awareness about the realities of trafficking, and that it can happen to anybody, and the average age into sex trafficking is 12 to 14 years old.
And sometimes some of us make rude comments, because somebody had said I was talking to somebody, and this isn't to make light, because it is a really, really dangerous subject, but I said they wouldn't want me, I'm too old. But I don't know.
Survivors, we've had survivors graduate that are in their 40s and almost 50s. So it really happens to anybody, regardless of age.
I'm 72, so I'm hoping that I'm over that.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, John, why did you want to get involved?
Well, we were actually considering putting together a pop-up station ourselves, and realized, that's a lot of work. So we're grateful that we're able to participate at this pop-up giving station. So that's one reason. But the other one is just what Alexis was saying, was to help us create awareness that we're here, and we're here to serve South Sarasota County. Our presence, we're expanding deeper into South Sarasota County, and I think a lot of people aren't aware that we're here, to serve their needs, either it's family or it's business through their employee assistance programs, whatever services they may be trying to provide. I'll give you an example of this. One of the pastors in Venice has reached out to us several times this year, and we're able to respond to requests that he's asked us to provide for the community. For instance, this coming Thursday and Saturday, we're doing some anti-bullying responses for parents to help them to know how to work with their kids who are experiencing that at school. And we wouldn't be able to do that for the Venice Northport area without pastors and other leaders inviting us to be part of this. So this is giving us another way to help the people of South Sarasota County know that we're here and we can serve them in numerous ways. So we're excited about being there.
Oh, absolutely. And the platform to be able to do that in collaboration with other nonprofits, because we're all in this together. I know everybody gets tired of that, but we are all in this together. And as a community, we're a community. One of the things at the radio station is the reason that we're giving everybody the opportunity to do this and to be able to stream and also to be able to be on the radio is our mission statement is building community through open communications. And we have the technology on the radio, and this here with the streaming, this is something I learned how to do. I'm the only one at the station that actually has been able to actually do this, and now some of them are using my stuff. But that's one of the things, because of COVID and the Giving Challenge and was coming up in 2020, and everybody was scrambling because everything was locked down. And I said, I got to figure out how to do this. So I have friends on Broadway and that do things there. And my two friends, actually, I'll bring them up on screen because my two friends right here, Seth Radetsky and James Wesley, started doing twice a day for the Broadway community because they had to shut down things, and everybody was out of a job, everybody, and they were scrambling how to give people a voice, and their entertainers and the people that were the ushers and the backstage people and the tech people were all out of jobs. So they started using this format, and they actually took the time out of their busy life and taught me how to use it. So thank you, Seth and James out there, for actually doing that. And that's where you're talking about collaboration too. They didn't have to do that. They were doing 2 shows a day. They were helping the Actors Fund, and that's a nonprofit that is for actors, and they've raised over $1 million some during COVID just by doing this and having people donate. So when we're doing this too, I'm going to bring up. Let's talk a little bit more too. Who did I miss here? Was it Sue? Sue? Okay, Sue, go ahead and tell us a little bit about why you got involved.
Well, we got involved because we learned. I've attended a lot of workshops last year that have made me aware of the value of nonprofit collaboration. And it's just interesting to see that right away I recognized the Seal of Freedom and the Good Samaritan organization that we could definitely partnership. We're constantly thinking of ways of how we can expand the number of people that we service, and also how we can get more tutors and volunteers for our organization. We're also celebrating our 40th year this year.
Wow.
So, yeah, we started in Venice. I think it was about 14 to 18 people in Venice. It's really an interesting story. I have it in one of my slide presentations. But yeah, we've come a long way. But we have a long way to go too.
Yeah, and collaboration with any of these organizations really are critical, because a lot of times the one nonprofit can't fill the need of everything. But when you do have a collaboration with some of the other nonprofits, you have a resource to send them to that you have a relationship with. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and I know that it becomes one of those issues like, why did they get that job over this, or why were they able to do this? Well, it's people that you know and trust, and it's also organizations that you know and trust, and know somebody at that organization, or know what that organization is, does for the community, that you can send them that way. Now, Karen, Dee, I muted you because you were kicking your desk. Tell us a little bit, why did you guys get involved with this, with the pop-up? Did you have a choice?
Well, thank you, Marie, for letting me out of do.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us. You and Karen, tell us why you're involved in the pop-up.
Well, personally, I think it's a great thing to do. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to hear the music. I can't wait to be part of it. It's the energy and the activities that it makes us a more vibrant community. I can't wait for it, Marie. Thank you for putting this together.
Well, it's a community event, and just for our audience to know, it's for the community. So if you're out there and you have kids, you have yourself, it's a good time to show your children and your family to get involved with some of the nonprofits there, to actually meet them, and to show that, to give back. And that's one thing about the Giving Challenge, is the way to give back. And Karen, why are you involved?
Oh, I'm involved. I'm here.
Are you voluntold? You got to do
I'll
this?
do whatever I have to do to be out
Yeah.
there, to help, to make awareness for all of us, because we have to all work together.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
It's wonderful.
You
It's one big family.
we volunteer some people that they have to be involved, but Karen always steps up anyhow, but she doesn't ever have to be voluntold. And that's one of the things, some of us, including myself, I'm a serial volunteer, and I know a lot of your organizations have serial volunteers. That means that we're crazy people, that we do a lot of volunteer work and we never get paid for it. And I don't want to get paid. I've been offered jobs, to be in that world. And I think I can do more damage as a volunteer, and I can walk away if I need to. Right?
You can wear whatever hat you want.
Right. And I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them. Yes, absolutely. Now, I'm going to bring up on the screen, and for our listening audience, please refer and listen to the words very carefully and get out your notepad, because this is where we want you to go. We want you to go to givingchallenge.org. And what are you going to do there? Well, you, the listener, and the watching audience right now, you can go to, I think that's you, Dee Dee. I keep on hearing this background and kicking and stuff. Anyhow, you can go to givingchallenge.org, and what you will do is, I'm going to walk you through this. Okay, you want to know who's going to have a pop-up. Over here on the menu screen, there is a pop-up, and actually, the radio station Teching, I'm going to be doing interviews from 12 to 5, and I personally won't be doing all the interviews, but there'll be interviews on the radio station being streamed this way from 12 to 5 on that Tuesday, and then we come back online at 6:30. At 6 o'clock, the in-person event starts. We won't start streaming till 6:30, and then we'll go to 10 o'clock, and then the next day we'll be back on at 10 to 12. Well, if you look here, there's pop-up giving stations, and when you click on that, it actually takes me to another page. I don't think you'll see it. Oh, yeah. You'll see it there, and as you go down here, you can see all the different giving stations here. And the Military Heritage Museum, they are going to be coming in, popping in on our on my streaming. I'll be bringing them in between the 12 and 5 mark, popping in from there. There's all these different pop-ups. You can go to the Giving Challenge and see what's there. And it says Lemon Bay Conservancy here. They're doing that at the Englewood Chamber, and they'll be popping in on the stream at times. And Joanne Kaminsky is going to be doing interviews from 2 to 5 with all that group from over in that area. And then here we are, the Community Broadband Radio Association. And when I pop that up there, it tells you all the information you want to know. There is a little change here. Originally, I had Pete O'Shea, who is a comedian, and he's one of our show hosts, and that was going to MC the the radio portion of it from Common Grounds, the Common Grounds portion. However, Bud Buckley will be doing that now. But it'll tell you all the information, and in case you didn't understand how all of this is working and who the organizations that are participating, you can go to there, but you can go to any of our Facebook pages and they'll be there. Now we're going to go back and explain to the audience how you donate, because you have to use the link that is on the givingchallenge.org to get the matching money for that organization. So we're going to I'll use the community broadband one first, so we can pop up. And you just put in, and even if you I'll put in WKDW and it should pop up too. Yeah, see, it shows up as Community Broadband Radio Association. I know Backpack Angels, it'll pop up if you just put in Backpack. And this is what our page looks like. If you notice, I use bees, like I said, for Be the One. And you can actually go to this page. If you like an organization, you want to help them out, there's a button here that you can click on, and then you can set up where you're fundraising for them, and you can they'll send you a link. Actually, the Giving Challenge will send you a link that you can be raising money for that organization. But otherwise, you click on the donate button here, and that'll be the correct place to go. And I know that we can actually send out that link to everybody, but here's the kicker. It doesn't go live till noon, April 26th. That's Tuesday, April 26th. And at that time, then you'll be able to donate just for 24 hours with the matching money. You can donate any time, not through this link, but you can donate any time to these organizations. And another thing is you have to use a credit or a debit card. And if you're concerned about doing it on the internet, show up at the pop-up. One of these beautiful people will be there from all these nonprofits. They'll have a laptop there, and they'll walk you through the process right on the computer, their computer, and it'll be very secure. So just for everybody to know where to go, how to donate, and to be able to be the one. You want to be the one that makes a difference in all these nonprofits, and it's only once every 2 years that you're able to do that there's matching money from the Patterson Foundation. And thank you to the Patterson Foundation. $25 up to $100 they'll match for each unique donor. Now here's another thing too. Say you wanted to give to maybe 3 different organizations. They'll have it up on the screen at that time that you're able to actually donate to that one all 3 organizations at the same time, and each one of them will get the matching donation. Were you all aware of that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we want our audience to be aware that they're able to do that. Now, say if I wanted to look up, let's see, the Sela Freedom. Okay, see how it popped up? I just put their first name in and popped up there. You just click on it, and they have information there, and see that you can fundraise for them. And they have a story on here with a video. And do your research too. If you're not familiar with an organization, let me tell you, the Community Foundation, any of the organizations, there's about 550 or more, and in 2020 they had over 700. So I don't know if the organizations went away, because a lot of nonprofits folded during COVID, just so people are aware. And did a lot of you guys know that? Because I did some research with people on that there were a lot of nonprofits that did not survive COVID. And that's because they couldn't do their fundraisers, they couldn't do a lot of the things and services. Some of the services, unless you adapted to social media, not social media, but to Zoom or to virtual, it was very devastating. How did that affect you, John?
Well, thankfully, we were able to quickly transition to telehealth, and that we, without missing a beat, actually, we grew during COVID because of telehealth services. And once we were able to go back to our counselors, see clients in person, we continue to do both. So we're probably running around 50-50 now of clients being seen in person and telehealth. So in a way, it was a good thing in a sense, because we were able to expand services. But to your point, we were able to do that quite quickly, and all of our counselors have that training that they need to be able to see clients through telehealth.
And for a good point for you saying that, John, because I've been able to adapt myself, and I sometimes, I prefer doing my radio shows like this. It saves people coming in. Nobody has to drive, going out into traffic. We get the same results. And actually, we get to have people see us, too, like TV. Instead of radio, just listening like a podcast. And I know a lot of people like podcasts and that, but at least with this, you're able to see the people and know that they're, who they are and what they really look like, and facilities and that. And we're able to actually go on tour. In case any of you guys want to take us on tour ever, when we're doing the show and stuff, you can take a cell phone and walk around, and we do have a reporter that goes out on location. That's Michelle that will do some of that stuff. Now, Sue, what about you? I do know that you transition, but when you're dealing with that, not everybody has access. Even with Alexis, yours would have been really difficult. Now, Sue, let's talk about yours. How did it happen for you for transitioning?
When COVID first hit, we kind of shut down a little bit, but then we very quickly developed, adopted Zoom. And that really became the main way that we did our board meetings. We did, the tutors really stepped up to the plate and were very receptive to doing Zoom tutoring. We even had snowbirds that typically couldn't tutor during those summer months because they were up north. But now, because of Zoom, they can tutor year round. So that really helped. We also started a Monday noon and a Thursday at 6:00 p.m. Like a Zoom chat session, kind of like for conversational skills, and that has been very successful. So we're still doing our board meetings on Zoom. It's really helped us a lot.
Well, and when you talk about that during board meetings, truthfully, a lot of times getting there and getting home, and people, if most boards are filled up with people that are in the business community and that, and their time is very valuable to actually, they're getting done with work and having to run to a board meeting, and I think that you get sometimes more accomplished.
I think so too.
Yeah, with that. Yeah. So, Sue, as talking about how that transitioned and people with a second language, because they're also learning how to become a citizen at that time. That transition from speaking another language and they're learning English and they're learning the proper way. Have you seen more people, because of being able to do this, become citizens quicker?
I don't know the statistics with regard to that. I think it has been on the uptick. I know here in Northport, our numbers for just processing ESL students has definitely increased. Venice is still doing very well, but Northport actually really picked up.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. No, Alexis.
Yeah,
Alexa.
So it definitely impacted every aspect of Sail of Freedom. When it first hit, I wasn't with Sail of Freedom, but I was interning, like right in the middle of it. and we still were able to, provide services to survivors, but the survivors in our long-term program became sort of scarce, which it's so much better now. On the positive side, we have a lot more women in our program that we're helping, but that's kind of one of the ways it impacted that. More so on the positive side, it, like every other organization in business, it allowed us to adapt to being able to work remote and get used to Zoom, and because of it, we kind of were able to start doing online Zoom trainings monthly. So that's something that since COVID, we started doing. We do awareness trainings, prevention trainings for adults, and so that's kind of how that's impacted us.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm looking at, I'm going to do some shout outs here to people because they're watching us. And if you post us, we can see that. And we can, if you love or like us, we can see who you are. So Billy Cunningham, shout out to you. Jesus, Mondragon, hopefully I don't kill your names. Peter Eric Benson, thank you for tuning in and watching you. Darlene says she never received a link to join us. So Darlene actually is the president of the Northport Arts Center. And this is, we want to do a shout out to Ben Chalmers and Virginia Machete because they posted to us and we can see that you do that. So for everybody out there, please take the time, April 26th, where are you going to be? From 6 to 10 p.m. and you can show up anytime. You're going to be able to meet all these nonprofits there at the Springs Plaza, 12735, all the way through 12739 at the Spring Plaza, Tamiami Trail in Northport, just by War Mineral Springs. It's by in between Caddy Carts and the Dollar General on the frontage road there. Join us. There's a food truck. Don't eat. Come and eat at the food truck. I've never eaten there, but let me tell you, I was recommended that it was the best food truck out there. So, and if you want to argue with that, that's okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. I haven't eaten there. And for all of you, what would each one of you want to say to our audience? Because we got to go. Yes, Karen. You're. Oh, I have you muted. Yeah, I put her in timeout. No. Karen, go ahead.
I just want to say I'll be here at the Arts Center all day on Tuesday. If anyone wants to come into the Arts Center to make their donation, I have my iPad or my computer here. So you're welcome to stop in.
And go, yeah, and actually take a walk around, see what's offered there. If you're a veteran, take a walk into the Art Center, sign up for a class, see what's being available. You can have your class for free. So that's one of the benefits of doing that. And healing through art, that's one of the things, John, I would think that even with counseling, that's one way to, they do that with children, right? When you counsel children, you use use art because children draw. And I imagine, Sela Freedom, Alexis, that you see that a lot of times they express themselves through art. And because they can't verbalize a lot of the things that have happened or express themselves that way. And Darlene, the president, said, come in and visit our adult students show along with images of Ukraine. So that's what they have going on at the Art Center. It'll be up next week. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and tuning in with us, for taking the time out of your busy day and taking the privilege. We are privileged to have you not only listen to us, but also to share the screen, the radio with these wonderful nonprofits and people that make your community strong. Be strong, Northport. Be strong, Ukraine. Let us all come together as people. We are all one, and let's help each other as decent human beings. And Dee Dee, we always end our show. Do I have you muted? Yes. Dee Dee, we always have our end our show. There are choices in life each of us can do, whether to be kind or not to be kind. What should we do?
Oh, we always choose kindness.
Yeah, we are. Yay! Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and see you again next week on Kaleidoscope of the Arts.